Sri Sai Ram. Dear students, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all for Sri Satya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam science class. The topic called thermal energy or heat. Okay, I think all of you are ready with the necessary book, pen and study materials, right? I hope all of you are in full of spirits to hear this lesson, and let us just recall what we know already about this. So we know that heat or thermal energy is a form of energy. What is energy? Energy is something which makes work to happen. It is an external force, and there are different kinds of energy, as all of you know. The most famous being solar energy, energy coming from sun, and all of your experience about electric energy, light energy, sound energy, then this thermal energy, then you have atomic energy, is it not? Go on listing out. So it is also one form of energy, and it is the most common because it is used in daily life. And if energy comes to our body, for example, when you eat some food, when you eat some hot materials, then you feel a kind of energy is entered in your body, and we feel hot. And also, where do you feel hot? Suppose you sit in front of the fire, we feel hot. If you go to sunshine outside, we feel hot, is it not? And also, if the energy goes out of our body, we feel cold. Suppose you eat some fridge items like ice creams, juice, etc., etc. You feel a lot of cold while eating it, is it not? So also in the winter season, the body temperature is less than our body temperature. When the body temperature is less than the atmosphere temperature, we feel that it is cold. Especially winter, what you use? Use sweaters, mufflers, shawls, gloves, and so on, is it not? Because we feel the atmosphere to be very, very cold. And when it is cold, to keep your body in good condition, we use warm clothes, is it not? And also, we have heard in history of mankind, man, went on discovering new and new things. You are just like an animal to start with. You are not knowing the use of any of these modern clothings, vessels, etc., etc. So one day it so happened, when he was, the only one thing they knew at that time was killing animals, or sometimes birds also, hunting, what you call. So in the process of hunting, they are throwing stones on animals like deer and etc. So while throwing stones, it so happened that one of the stones, struck against another rock there. So when this stone struck against the rock, a spark produced. That was a very great surprise, and he thought that, oh, this is something very, very unusual, very special. Next, within a few days, he added some dried leaves on that. He found it got burnt. Oh, here is a very interesting phenomenon wherein you get heat. Like that, they went on improving the use of heat. Like, they started, heating the flesh and started heating water. Like that, even they kept themselves warm by making some fire. So that is how the heat was first of all discovered. And this heat can be got by different sources. Just like we just now told that sun is the main source. We call it as solar energy. This heat can be got from light also. For example, when a bulb, if it is burning for a few hours, the bulb gets heated up. Is it not? And where else you get heat? If you just rub your hands, come on, you try. If you rub your both of hands, you find the hands becoming hot. Is it not? So, heat can be experienced by friction also. So, it can be got from electricity also, light also, and also from the sun. If you go to the hot sun, you feel a lot of heat outside. So, by the way, what do you mean by heat or thermal energy? It's a form of energy. It is, in another way, you can define it as, it is used to do work. It is measured in the unit called joule, named after the scientist John Prescott Joule. And I think you have one more experience. Suppose you take some perfume and spray it in the glass, or if you light some agarbatti in your glass. What happens? In a few minutes, the smell of the agarbatti or the perfume will all move to the whole glass. Is it not? So, what I mean to say, how the smell comes from one place to another, that is because of transfer of molecules, or you can say kinetic energy of molecules. Kinetic means what? Energy of motion. It's called kinetic energy. So, heat is nothing but the average kinetic energy, or sum total of kinetic energy of the molecules or particles in a body. So, what is temperature? Temperature is the measure of degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Whether the given substance is hot or cold can be detected, that there is no measurement done by a device called as temperature. You can think of a small activity here. Take 3 vessels, say tumblers, if possible glass tumblers. One you keep some ice water, another you keep some warm water, and third one you keep some very hot water. And you just see the experience you find. First you keep in a hot water one finger and another finger in the cold water. Immediately you find lot of difference. Is it not? And when you keep the forefinger from the hot water into the warm water, you feel a little cold there. Still you put in the ice cold water, you feel still cold. So you find that difference now. The degree of hotness changes, and vice versa also is true. Means the finger which you kept in the cold water, if you put the warm water, you feel little warm. If you put in the hot water, you feel lot of hotness. Is it not? So it is a degree of hotness or coldness of a body. And how it is measured? Temperature is measured by the 3 scales that was known as degree Celsius, named after the scientist Celsius, and it is Fahrenheit, degree Fahrenheit, or Kelvin. These are the 3 degrees of measurement of temperature. Device used to measure temperature is called thermometer. You heard about so many meters. Barometer is a device of measuring pressure, atmospheric pressure. Now you have thermometer. The word thermo means heat. So there are 3 kinds of measuring it. Details we will see little later. And let us do one small activity now. So we will take some water, boil it in a kettle, and if you boil it for some time, we find that a steam is produced. All of you experienced how to prepare hot water, na? So there will be a steam built up, and this steam that comes out by boiling water, what does it do? It raises the lid. When the steam goes out, it raises the lid, and the lid falls down when the steam is cooled. So we find that the heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. So the device which is used to convert this heat energy into mechanical energy is called as steam engine. You might have heard a very famous name, that is James Watt. Of course, later on that was used in ships, used in railways and so on. So James Watt discovered this steam engine, and that was based on the principle of converting heat energy into mechanical energy. Okay, and so this is the principle of steam engine. Here steam is supplied, and the steam will be made use of to the wheel starts rotating. So this is a device used for especially trains. Nowadays a lot of electric trains have come, but in the beginning stage it was used for railways. So it was discovered by James Watt, and the railway engine and all was discovered by George Stephenson. That was in the Renaissance time in England. And so device can be used to convert heat and steam into mechanical work is called steam engine. And it was J.P. Joule, John Prescott Joule, who experimentally established the equivalence of work and heat. Both are measured by the same unit called Joule. So this is J.P. Joule, a very famous scientist who found out that when heat is applied to a body, it produces or it generates work. So he found relation between the work and heat, and there was one more unit called as calorie. 1 calorie is equal to 4.2 joules. This is named after the scientist Joule. Exactly it is 4.18. But for practical purpose we use it as 4.2. So calorie is another unit of measuring heat, and also a device called calorimeter. We are going to study in the higher class. Calorimeter is a device to measure the heat produced, and there will be a lot of experiments also in future. And here you should note that heat always flows from a body of higher temperature to a body of lower temperature. One simple experiment you can try. You take a spirit lamp or a Bunsen burner, take one rod, metallic rod. So if you just keep the rod on the fire, first the tip which is in contact with the fire gets heated up. Slowly the heat will be transferred, and it will come to your hand also after some time. So which shows that heat transfers from a body of higher temperature to a body of lower temperature. So that is, of course, you have got so many experience like that, and every day also you will be using heat for especially what are the uses of heat? Especially it is used in cooking. I need not tell about cooking process. I think most of you know cooking, at least preparing tea or coffee, and even chapatis, rice, curry, and so on. So for cooking, heat is a compulsory thing. And there was a joke about that. There was one lady newly married. She has passed masters in home science, and all the bride people, they felt very happy that they are going to have a lady which is very highly educated, highly experienced, and it was told she is a medalist, gold medalist. And she was, when she came after the marriage to the house of the bride, then what happened, that she was asked to prepare upma, and of course not in the first day, after some days she was preparing upma. She had a book, she had made home science. In home science there was a book, and she opened the page of preparing upma. She did all the process, taking rava and then mixing cutting the vegetables like onions, etc., chilies and so on, adding to it, pouring water, all those she did. And the people outside were waiting, when will the upma comes, but did not come at all. For 1 hour she was doing like that, and later on her aunt goes inside and see what he had done. Most important, she has not heated. Without heating, how the upma will come? So that is not there in the book. The substance to be heated is not given. She did as per procedure as given in the book. But that is what he said, practical knowledge is very important than theory. So you also must have a practical knowledge, then only you will be successful in life. Okay? And we are discussing about different devices of measuring heat, and about cooking I was telling. But other uses of heat is necessary for the plants to prepare food, is it not? This is what is called as photosynthesis. Heat is necessary Heat is something which evaporates the water in the pond, and heat is necessary to boil water, and even the plants, animals, birds, all this are in one way or other related to heat. When the body also has a temperature. When the body temperature, what is the temperature of body? 37 degrees Celsius, is it not? If the body has no temperature, means the man will be called as dead, is it not? So we also have temperature, and it is that temperature that is used for digestion of food. So heat is a very, very essential part, and it is one of the Panchabhutas. What are the Panchabhutas? Fire, what you call Agni, Vayu, what you call wind. Then you have water, Jala. You have Akasha, empty space, and fire. So these are the Panchabhutas. So fire is one of the Panchabhutas, and that heat is a very essential part of the creation. Now let us see something about thermometer. It is a device used to measure the temperature of a body. There are different kinds of thermometer. The first one is called clinical thermometer, and a clinical thermometer, as the word itself says, clinical, used by doctors. The thermometer that a doctor uses to measure the temperature of human body. Here there will be one capillary here. This is called capillary, made out of thick glass, and there will be mercury inside, and this is also mercury bulb. So this is a glass container. Your lowest temperature is 35 in case of Celsius scale. If it is Fahrenheit scale, it will be 95 degree off. And here maximum is 42 degrees Celsius, and in a Fahrenheit scale it will have 110 degree Fahrenheit, which means that a man will not have temperature less than 35, he will not have more than 42, or less than 95 means he is almost dead, more than 110 also is dead. So what is the human body temperature? That is 37, 98.6 Fahrenheit. Therefore there will be one arrow mark, a red mark, that shows our body temperature. This is called as clinical thermometer, used by doctors or nurses, or even you also, you can also use to see the body temperature. Okay. And there will be one more called as laboratory thermometer. The thermometer that we use for measuring temperatures in science experiments, it is called laboratory thermometer. What is the difference? In case of laboratory thermometer, it starts with the, again there are two types. One is called Celsius scale, another is called Fahrenheit scale. Celsius scale starts with 0 and ends with the 100. Same construction here also, mercury bulb. This is a graduated scale, a capillary tube with mercury inside, or it may be alcohol also. In Fahrenheit scale, the lowest temperature actually 32, and it goes up to 12 degrees Celsius. So this 32 is the lowest, that is called 0 degree in Celsius, and 212 is the highest boiling point of water, also equal to 100 degrees Celsius. This is freezing point of or melting of ice, that is 0 degree Celsius or 32 degree Fahrenheit. So this is what is called as laboratory thermometer. and in some cases they use less than 0 also. For some experiments it will be -10, -20, -30, etc. That is for some experiment it may be needed. So this is what is called laboratory thermometer. Now a doubt will arise, why you should use only mercury? Sometimes they use alcohol also, because it has got a shining luster, it does not stick to the glass, and it expands or contracts slowly. That is why usually it is preferred, mercury is preferred. And there is one more called as maximum minimum thermometer. This is used for determining the maximum and minimum temperature of a day. It is a U tube, again made up of glass. It has got two scales, one on the left side is Celsius, another one is Fahrenheit. And the mercury level will be there, that will show the maximum here it is minimum temperature, it is maximum temperature. So they will write both the scales, either it may be in Celsius or in Fahrenheit. There is a formula to connect these two, how it is connected. So why it is called maximum minimum? Because in every day there will be fluctuation of temperature. In the afternoon time it will be highest, in the morning and evening it will be lowest, is it not? Mornings especially will be lowest. So that can be seen by what is called as a maximum minimum thermometer, and this hole is just for fixing it on the wall. You need not take it to all places. By just you can see the mercury level here. So this level shows the maximum temperature, this level shows the minimum temperature, and it measures both the scale, namely Celsius scale and the Fahrenheit scale. Okay. Now recently they are using what is called as digital thermometer. This is digital. Nowadays, all have become digital. Even there are thermometers to keep on the head, like a tape they keep. This is a very convenient one. Immediately on the spot it shows the temperature of the body, and there is no capillaries like this here, and it is the most modern type of thermometer. And now let us see how to construct a thermometer. We said it is a minimum temperature is there and also maximum temperature is there. So in a mercury thermometer there is a thin walled bulb attached to a thick walled capillary. So there will be a thin capillary, means glass tube. The wall is thick walled, inside you have thick walled. The capillary is filled with the mercury. Mercury, I was just now telling you, it shows clearly by repeated heating and cooling. The capillary above mercury level is called evacuated and its upper end is sealed. Then the thermometer is calibrated or marked to measure temperature. So this is ice. So when a thermometer is kept here, it shows what is called as ice point. In the case of Celsius, it is 0 degree Celsius. Is also equal to, in the case of Fahrenheit, it is 32 degree Fahrenheit. So these two temperatures are equal, and that is called ice point. So that is how the lowest temperature is marked in the thermometer. And how to mark the highest temperature? That is by keeping in a boiling water. For calibration, lower and upper fixed points are marked respectively by burying the bulb first in melting ice and then in steam. So this is steam. So in steam point steam point in case of Celsius is 100 degree Celsius is also equal to 200 degree Fahrenheit, 212 degree Fahrenheit is also equal to 373 Kelvin. So that is a measurement of steam point. Steam means maximum. By keeping ice, it gives minimum temperature. Keeping in steam, it gives maximum temperature. So here, that is how it is marked. A bulb fetched in melting ice. So there it was kept in melting ice, and then it will be kept in the steam. So the mercury level in the steam remains fixed with the time in each case. So here one more interesting point you must note. When it reaches the maximum temperature, it won't change afterwards. It becomes the same, about which you study in the next class. Okay, that is called latent heat of steam. Similarly, it will not come below the melting of ice, that is 0 degree Celsius. So this is what is called as calibration of a thermometer. It also refers to about the marking. In case of Celsius, it is 0 to 100, it is marked. And in case of Fahrenheit, it is 32 to 212. That is the marking. So this is called melting of ice, lowest temperature. 100 degree Celsius is steam. Okay. So and all there will be marking on this. There will be small lines referring to the Celsius. For every 5 there will be a big line like that. So there will be what is called as marking is made, graduation is made. Okay, that is how the thermometer works and how the marking is made. And you know one important point here, why is mercury preferred as a thermometric liquid? Usually, even alcohol also they use. Nowadays, alcohol also preferred. And mercury is more preferred because it is opaque, and here it does not stick to the walls of the container. However much you put, I think all of you seen mercury, is it? What is the speciality of mercury? It is a liquid metal. Only one metal which is liquid form is mercury. It flows like water. And most interesting point, does not stick. If you catch in your hand, it will not stick to the hand. It will be opaque. It is a shining luster. You can see the graduation clearly by using mercury. It expands or contracts slowly when it is contact with bodies or surroundings. I think all of you have seen when you get fever, no? When you get fever, they will keep below your tongue or in the armpit for 2 minutes. Then of course before keeping in below tongue, they will shake it. Why to shake it? Because the mercury level should come down, and then they keep below the tongue when you get some fever and all. So what happens? Mercury level slowly rises, and if you see it, after 2 minutes, it shows the temperature. And if it is 98.6, you are a healthy person. Little more, say 99 or 100, etc., it means that you have fever. So how can you see it? Because of the shining luster of mercury. And after measuring temperature, you have to shake again, because it should go down. So it contracts slowly. Why should contract slowly? Expands also slowly. That's why you must take 2 to 3 minutes. because what happens when you remove from mouth, it will take some time to see reading. Suppose it comes down fast, difficult to measure. So if it comes slowly, you can measure it very well. So this is a very important point you must note. Of course, most of you have got experience in this, but anyway, for information it is told. Okay. Now let us see the three scales of temperature which I have just now discussed. One is Celsius scale called as degree C, how you reference it. Fahrenheit scale is degree F. Kelvin scale K, no question of degree there. And steam point, one is called ice point, another is called steam point. So 32 in case of Fahrenheit it is 32 and maximum is 212, and this is what is called as clinical thermometer. This is called Fahrenheit thermometer. Okay. So in case of Celsius scale, it will be 0 to 100, and in case of Fahrenheit is just 32 degree Fahrenheit to 212. In case of Kelvin, it is 273 to 373. You write K. That is the minimum and maximum temperature. Okay. So don't worry about this. This is one kind of scale only here. It is Fahrenheit and that is a clinical one. Okay. But this is three important scales, and also you should know what is the interrelation between them. Just now I was telling about this initial fixed point called as ice point. Celsius it is 0, Fahrenheit is 32, Kelvin is 273. Upper fixed point called steam point. Celsius is 100, Fahrenheit is 212, Kelvin is 373. Human body temperature 37 degrees Celsius, 98.6, 310. And what are the divisions in between? Here division is 100 divisions. Path divided, there will be 100 path, 100 marking is there. Here it is 100, 180. In between these two you have 180. And then in Kelvin scale again 100, because 272 to 373. Here it is 100, here it is 180, here is 100. So if you want to convert Celsius into Fahrenheit, and this is the formula, degree C by 100 is equal to F minus 32 by 180. And why you want it? For example, if you want to measure the temperature of human body temperature is how much? 37, no? Human body temperature is 37. So 37 by 100. Is it not? So 37 degree is equal to, by 100 is equal to F minus 32 by 180. And if you cross multiply, here 0 cancels. You get, suppose you want to find degree Celsius, degree C is equal to, what do you get? 100 will go up, no? So you have 5 by 9 you get. This 100 will go up, 180 will come down, 0 cancels, 5 by 9 into degree of minus 32. So 5 by 9 degree of minus 32. If you want to get in terms of Celsius. Suppose you want to get in terms of Fahrenheit, the formula becomes Same thing, F minus 32 is equal to 180 will come here. So 180 come here by 100, so much of degree Celsius. And then if you want F, bring this side. So this will be 0, 0 cancels, 9 by 5 degree C plus 32. That is how you measure in terms of degree F. Okay. So, for example, in this problem, suppose you want to convert human body temperature. What to do? 9 by 5 into Celsius, how much? 37. That will be and then you have to add 32. So 5 7s are 35. That is 7.4 into 9. How much it comes? It comes to 37. 9 by 5 into 37 plus 32. So that will be equal to 98.6. That is how you convert. Similarly, in the same way, reverse process. Suppose you want Celsius into Fahrenheit, there will be reverse process you must do. And what about Kelvin? Kelvin is just add 273. For example, in case of human body temperature, the 273 plus 37, that comes to 310. Is it not? And boiling point is 273 plus 100, that is 373 you got. That's how Kelvin scale is got. Only here you should be careful in a transposition. Okay. So here the equivalent will be degree Celsius by 100, because there are 100 divisions here, is equal to F minus 32. Why 32? Lowest scale is 32 by 180, because there are 180 divisions in between. Okay. So that is how they are equated, and this also equal to this. Okay. And that is the conversion of or comparison of 3 scales of temperature. Okay. Now we will see some home assignment. First question, state whether the following statements are true or false. Heat can be measured in terms of Kelvin. Minus 30 degrees, this is a second question. Minus 30 degree F is a lower temperature than minus 30. Thermal energy can be measured either in calories or in joules. You must tell true or false, that's all. Pure alcohol can also be used as a thermometer liquid. A body is left cold when heat flows from our body to the other body. So that is all the home assignments. Come prepared. And lastly, mercury is preferred in the construction of thermometers as a liquid. Why? Differentiate between heat and temperature. Okay. So come prepared for that. Thank you.